Okay, now I know my microphone is working. Hello, everyone. Welcome to hashtag 100 Things Exercises for Successful Living. You guys know me. You know me very, very well. I am Coach Desi, and I am excited. I am excited that you are able to join me tonight for tonight's topic. Tonight's topic is be unique. Be unique. So, if you would please let me know where you are joining me in the world from, I would certainly appreciate it. I did tonight's video a little bit differently, even though I was having some technical difficulties a few minutes ago, because I have a YouTube channel. And so I've got a lot of content that I've done over the years that I have now placed over there. And so you have the ability to watch other broadcasts that I've done, interviews that have been done. Um, and I would just love for you to check it out. So you can find me by looking up Excellence by Design. Excellence by Design. So I am super, super, super excited. Again, if you're joining me, please say hello. Let me know that you are here. That would be fantastic. That would be fantastic. Let's see here. Let me just get my phone situated. Okay. Marla, hello. Kimberly, hello. Mary, hello. Thank you for joining me, ladies. I am excited about tonight's topic because this is something that I will see often. I have experienced myself, of course, as all of these are. I've had growth lessons in these areas, in this area, and being unique. Being unique. How would you describe your uniqueness? What makes you unique? What is it about you that if I were to ask someone, hey, tell me a little bit about so and so, what would they say about you? Could they tell me something very unique? Or would you be just like everyone else? In this space, especially with, the rise of social media and the internet over, I don't know how many years now, 10, 15 years, we see so many imitators. We see a lot of imposters. We see a lot of copycats. We see a lot of pressure. We see a lot of comparison. There's so much that we are exposed to and that we see that has done and is doing so much damage to men, women, boys, and girls. We see it. And so tonight's topic is important because with so many people and so many things that clamor for our attention, it can be very, very easy to find ourselves trying to fit in, trying to, as we're figuring out our way, trying to fit in and find a place inside of the mold where we can just kind of, become, where we can become like. And so, what we need to understand, and I'm sure many of you do, but I just want to simplify it tonight because when it comes to success, your uniqueness is going to play a very important factor in your success. There are no two people alike. There are absolutely no two people that are quite alike. You might have people that have similarities, but they're not quite alike. I'll give you an example. In my family, we have two sets of twins. I've got twin brothers and I have twin sisters. Now, my twin brothers are fraternal. You can see the obvious differences between the two of them. One's a little darker, one's about my complexion. One has hazel colored eyes, the other one has dark brown eyes. But they were born on the same day. They're twins. My sisters, on the other hand, are identical. And unless you know their personalities, if they were to walk into a room, you would hesitate, as I have often done. You'd hesitate to figure out which is which. But even in that, there are no two people that are quite alike. There's a quote that says, "You were born an original, don't die a copy." So then that begs the question, why is it that we find ourselves so often trying to imitate and become like other people? Why do we try to become like others? What is it that we see in them that we don't see in ourselves? And so we pursue trying to become like them. It's very easy when you're like going for a goal or going for some sort of dream or an accomplishment that you want to get to emulate others who have gone before you. Quite naturally, I remember back in my direct sales days where they say, well, we'll find the right cat and you can copy the right cat. You would emulate the behavior that they modeled. What I also found was, as people were copying the right cat, they began to dress alike or in the same style. They had somewhat of the same haircut. They tried to carry themselves a certain way. They tried to command a room similar to the person that they were modeling. And I'm not saying that modeling isn't good, but there's a difference between imitating and modeling. And when it comes to our uniqueness, when we try to fit in, that can be a good thing. It definitely can be a good thing. It can be necessary and it can be quite useful. We do it, our children, they will emulate they'll emulate us. They will do what they see, right? In our families. And then what will happen is that they'll take it into adulthood. There'll be certain characteristics and traits that are taken into adulthood. We see this happening in the workplace, right? How people conduct themselves in meetings, how they handle themselves in discussions. I talked about the dress. So we'll see some of these behaviors of imitating, modeling, copying, whatever you want to call it, so that people can fit in. But here's what's important, you guys. It's really important to stand out too. It's very important to stand out. It is important that you are not trying to fit in just for fitting in's sake. You're not trying to fit in so that you can, feel like you belong to a group or a clique or a certain, a certain group of people or an organization. Some people, it's important to, if we're trying to fit in, if the reason why we're trying to fit in is because we don't want to be challenged, if we're trying to fit in because we want to avoid being questioned, you really need to ask yourself, okay, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? One of the things that we have to do, and I say have to, and that's a very strong word because we don't have to do anything, quite honestly. We need to, it is important that we find the balance between conforming for conformance sake versus being open about your own, your own ambitions, your own unique desires, the things that you want. I had a conversation with my son the other day, and we were talking about we were talking about you know how he has dealt with being a creative in a circle of very technical people, um, whether it's technical in their choice of areas of study or just the way that they operate and function. Like, he has a very unique group of friends, and he's very much the creative. Um, and so he had mentioned, he's like, Mom, sometimes I have to pull back because it's very easy to find myself, you know, looking for approval from the group as opposed to standing out and being my fun loving self, being my creative self. And he said, once I recognized that about me, you know, it was hard at first because, you don't want anyone to judge you. You don't want anyone to criticize you. No one wants to be criticized. As a matter of fact, uh, Maggie, I love this. Maggie says, you know, lots of people try to fit in because it's a source of comfort. That's absolutely true. People will try to fit in as a source of comfort. And it's something that's subconscious to us and not logical. It's not something that, if we're not growing, if we're not developing ourselves, it's very easy when anything feels like a challenge to run back to what we're comfortable to. And it can happen ever so slightly. So, in the midst of our conversation, he said, sometimes I have to pull away because I will forget, like, those parts of me that I know that are there, and I don't want them to go away. And it was a very healthy conversation that we had, because where he found himself conforming to fit in. Well, that just doesn't happen to young people. It happens to us too. It happens to us as we become more seasoned. You want to know who aren't the conformers? You want to know who the ones that are unique? Unique people start businesses. Now, not everyone, but unique people will take risks. They'll bet on themselves. They will identify their personality traits. They will identify the strengths that they have. They will identify their desire. And those are the things that they will use, and they will craft, and they will mold, and you know they'll bet on in order to find the success that they want to have, whatever that looks like. But they will find the success that they are looking for. So you have to be unique. You've got to be unique no matter what they say. You've got to be uniquely yourself no matter what others say or think, because you owe that to yourself. Marcus Buckingham said it this way. He said, "A note of caution: we could never achieve goals that envy set for us. Looking at your friends and wishing you had what they had is a precious waste of energy, because we are all unique. What makes another happy may do the opposite for you." Are you pursuing a goal, a dream, a desire based on envying what someone else has? Or are you so convinced that you have this desire to steam ahead? You have the desire to have your own voice. You have the desire to create a path that will bring you happiness. and not satisfy the envy that might reside inside of someone else. So here's a couple of things. Here's a couple of things that you can do, um, so that you can put into action your plan to remain uniquely yourself. Number one, you need to identify what's unique to you. What are your unique characteristics? Everyone has strengths. Every single one of us have strengths that, and a combination of strengths that make us unique. Every single one of us has the ability to do a very definite thing that we have been called to do based on our unique strengths and abilities. But you got to know what they are. You got to know what they are. What you can do is, there's a couple of things. This is an easy one. You can take a sheet of paper, on the left, write down all of your strengths. And then on the right hand side, you can answer either one of these two questions. In what way am I not being unique to myself utilizing this strength? In what way am I not being unique to myself utilizing this strength? Another question you can ask yourself is, what do I need to stop doing, or who do I need to stop copying? Y'all, if you're copying someone who doesn't line up with your values and your priorities, you're doing yourself a disservice. You want to make sure that the person that you are modeling your behavior after, that they line up with your values, what you value, and what you prioritize in your life. But you won't know that until you identify what you value and what your priorities are. What are your strengths? Another thing that you can do is, I am a certified DISC consultant. So if you've never taken the DISC personality profile, it is an astounding tool that can help you to identify your unique skill set, strengths, communication style, how others with styles different than yours, how you can communicate with, and so many more things. That's something that we have, that so that if you are not clear as to, okay, what is it that I am really great at? And how can I take this and use my unique ability to add value to this world? That's a really wonderful tool that can help you do that. The second tip that I want to give you is, in order to put this into action so that you can stay unique, is this: stop chasing other people's uniqueness. What they have is not yours. Why chase someone else's uniqueness? What is wrong with your own? What is wrong with the uniqueness that you have inside of you? Your God-given ability, talent, skill, look, feel. What's wrong with it? We all have a unique set of desire. We all have a unique set of needs. We all have unique ambitions. And if you are copying someone else's uniqueness, you are selling yourself short. And you're worth so much more. So stop it. I speak to myself as I speak to you. I've found myself in this very position many times. But once you develop your skill set, once you know what your strengths are, you will then begin to value who you are even more. And that's a beautiful thing to do. It's not just what you do, it's who you are. It's who you are that matters the most. Listen, put the time and the energy and the focus on developing who you are. And watch when you develop who you are, how doors will open. If it's not a door, it'll be a window. And even through a window, you can get a nice breeze to cool down everything so that you can continue and try again. I challenge you, be who you uniquely are. It is just that simple. It is just that simple. I see some people here. Love y'all, love y'all, love y'all. Marla says, that's good, conforming. Where do you find that balance? Marla, in where do we find the balance, whether we're conforming or whether we're copying? It's one thing to emulate. Like, it's one thing to say, okay, well, you know what? I trust Desiree. I trust her, and she does this, so I'm going to do that. She talks this way, so I'm going to talk that way. She goes to this place, so I'm going to go to this place. And it's natural for us to want to fit in. But if you like to crochet, it's just an example. And it's something that you love to do. And it allows you to, to just be in your own space and get rejuvenated. Why not do that? Why not do the things that make you happy? It'll make you better in the long run. So it's okay to be mentored, but you also have to find that uniqueness about yourself and live into that. And then we have to ask ourselves the questions too. Am I taking what applies to me and then utilizing that? Am I happy with who I am? Am I truly happy with who I am? Because we have to jump into that, into that as well. When we're unhappy, we'll find ourselves, trying to be like other people when we need to find that happiness inside of ourselves. Oh, I love this. That's it, Maggie. Maggie says, need to first be happy with who they are and embrace their strengths and gifts. Absolutely. There it is right there. There it is right there. Sharita says, disc is phenomenal. Great clarity and awareness. Sharita, I absolutely agree with you. I love that tool. It is such a powerful tool that will help us to know exactly what our strengths and our gifts are and to be able to use those. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, you guys. So there's more. Hold on. Chris says, it takes courage and determination to find your uniqueness. It does. It takes courage to stand out and be happy, to dig within and go within and allow what's within to come out. I absolutely agree with you, Chris. Well, that is it for tonight. That is it. You guys, for those of you that have not had the opportunity to join the Girl Ask Me Anything community, you can just by typing in Girl Ask Me Anything and click join. There's a couple of questions that you can ask. I mean, you'll need to answer, and we would love to have you. And I just want to say thank you. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight, you guys. I have certainly appreciated all of the comments and the feedback in the chat. Certainly appreciate that. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight on Grow with Desi, and I look forward to seeing you guys again tomorrow night for day 54. Thanks again for joining, you guys, and I will see you then. Take care.